Hi friends, once again I welcome you to my video class. So friends, today I am going to teach you the concept of demographic trends in India. Demographic word is derived from the Greek word. So, demo means people, graphic means discussion. So demographic means it's a people discussion, or else it is a statistical study of population. So the demographic trends studies varieties of variables like size of population, then sex ratio, and then literacy, and then density, mortality rate, infant mortality rate, and maternal mortality rate, and demographic dividends. So these are the variables we can find out in the concept of demographic trends. So if anybody wants to understand the India's demographic trends, one has to go through the census. If anybody wants to understand the demographic trends of India, one has to study the census. So in India, census is being done once in a decade by National Sample Survey Organization. So the first census was conducted in the year of 1871, but throughout the nation it was not conducted. So the second census was done in the year of 1881. So since 1881, the census has been conducted throughout the nation, and in 1921 year is referred as year of great divide, because from 1911 to 1921 our population growth was negative due to it was the nation was attacked by deadly diseases. So that 1921 year is called as year of great divide. After independence, in 1951 our population was 36 crore, but as per 2011 census it is the 15th census of India and also 7th census after independence. So as per 2011 census our population was 121 crore. Our population was 121 crore. So as we know, India ranked second in the world in terms of population after the China. Some surveys have predicted that India is going to beat up China by 2025. So India's share in the world population is 17%, but India's land share in the world land is only 2.4%. India's share of population in the world population is 17%, whereas the land of India's share in the world land is only 2.4%. And Karnataka's share in the nation's population is only 5%. Karnataka's share in the nation's population is only 5%, and Karnataka ranked ninth place, ninth state in terms of population in India. So there are five most populated states in India. They are Uttar Pradesh, and second one is Maharashtra, and then third Bihar, and fourth West Bengal, and fifth one is Andhra Pradesh. So recently Andhra was divided into Telangana, and we will see the birth rate and death rate. So as we know the definition of birth rate, so number of births taking place for 1,000 population is called as birth rate. Number of births taking place for 1,000 population, it is called as birth rate. As per 2011 census, our birth rate is 21.8%. India's birth rate is 21.8%. And death rates, so death rate, number of deaths taking place for 1,000 population, it's called as death rate. So as per 2011 census, our death rate is 7.11, birth rate is 21.8, whereas death rate is 7.11. So there birth rate is greater than the death rate. Birth rate growth is threefold greater than the death rate. In the sense the population has positive trend. Then we will see the density of population. So as we know, the density of population means the average number of people living in a square kilometer. It's called as density of population. So it is also called as land man ratio. So density of population is also called as land man ratio. And there is a formula of density of population. Density of population equal to total population of the country divided by total area of the country. Then we will get the number of people. So the India's density of population as per 2011 census is 382. In the sense, in India 382 people are residing in a square kilometer. So Karnataka's density is 319. So in India, Bihar is the first state which has highest density. Bihar is the first state which has highest density as per 2011 census, whereas the Arunachala Pradesh has least density in the states of India. In Karnataka, the Bengaluru city has highest density. Bengaluru city district has highest density, and whereas Kodagu has the least density. Then we will see the sex ratio. So as we know, the sex ratio means it's a how many females are there for 1,000 males. Number of females for 1,000 males, it's called as sex ratio. So as per 2011 census, our country's sex ratio is 943, and Karnataka state sex ratio is 973. Here Karnataka's sex ratio is greater than the country's sex ratio, and Kerala has highest sex ratio, whereas Haryana has lowest sex ratio. In Karnataka, Udupi district has highest sex ratio, Bangalore city has lowest sex ratio. Then literacy. So as per 2011 census, if the person who is above the 7 age, if he is able to read and write any regional language, he is called as literate. So India's literacy is 74% as per 2011 census, and Karnataka's literacy is 75%. So in India, Kerala has highest literacy, whereas Bihar has least literacy. In Karnataka, Dakshina Kannada district has highest literacy, and Yadagiri district has lowest literacy. Then life expectancy. So the life expectancy means it is the expected year a person can live. It is a expected year a person can live. So it's called as life expectancy. So in the year of 1951, India's life expectancy, our life expectancy was only 32 years. So India's life expectancy was only 32 years in the year of 1951. But as per 2011 census, our life expectancy is 63 years. In the sense, in India, so most of the people expected year is 63 years. But there is one tricky trend. The trend is, so as per 2011 census, India's female life expectancy is greater than the male's female life expectancy. India's female life expectancy is greater than the male's life expectancy. So female expectancy of India is 64 years, whereas male's expectancy in India is 62 years. So then we will see the mortality rate. So in mortality rate, there are two types of mortality. One is infant mortality rate, and second one is maternal mortality rate. Infant mortality rate means number of deaths taking place under the age of 1 year. It is called as infant mortality rate. So in India, infant mortality rate is 42. In the sense, 42 babies are dying for 1,000 newborn babies. Karnataka's infant mortality rate is 32. Here the infant mortality rate is calculated for 1000 newborn babies. Then maternal mortality rate, so number of deaths taking place while women are pregnant. Number of deaths taking place while women are pregnant, or if woman dies while she delivering birth to babies, that is called as maternal mortality rate. So infant mortality rate is calculated for 1000 newborn babies, whereas the maternal mortality rate is calculated for a lakh pregnant women. For 1 lakh pregnant women, infant mortality rate is calculated for 1000 newborn babies, whereas maternal mortality rate is calculated for 1 lakh pregnant women. So India's infant mortality rate is 178. In the sense, 178 women are dying for 1 lakh pregnant women. Then we see the very burning concept of the demographic dividend. So as we know, a dividend means asset or a profit. So demographic means population. So demographic dividend means it's a asset of population. India is called as demographic dividend country because in India the dependency of population is very less. The dependency of population is very less. Independent population is very high. So between the age of 0 to 14 and more than 65 year, between the age of 0 to 14 and more than 65 years is called as dependent population, whereas between the 15 to 64 age is called as the independent population. So between the age of 15 to 64 is called as independent population. It shows the working population, working age of population is high in India. It means the dependency population is very low, independent population is very high in India, hence India is regarded as demographic dividend country. I mean, there are more youths in India. Thank you so much for watching this video.